A lot of people, including myself, often compare the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, how they are both addicted to big donor money and aren't necessarily listening to actual voters. Now, while that's true, when you get down to it, there are some serious differences between the two parties, especially when it comes to marginalized groups. Now, one of the biggest examples of this is how the Trump administration has gone after the trans community. So they've already tried to ban trans people from serving in the military, a decision that doesn't serve any purpose to try and enact. And currently, that decision is caught up in federal courts. But now, they're also trying from a different angle. So the Trump administration is now targeting trans people and their access to healthcare. So this from the New York Times. The Trump administration says it plans to roll back a rule issued by President Barack Obama that prevents doctors, hospitals, and health insurance companies from discriminating against transgender people. The rule was adopted in 2016 to carry out a major civil rights law embedded in the Affordable Care Act. The law prohibits discrimination based on race, color, national origin, sex, age, or disability in any program or activity that receives federal financial assistance. All right, so usually when a controversial rule or law is proposed, you can go back and look into, okay, who is benefiting from this proposal, from this change? In this case, who is benefiting from this? Who is benefiting from trans people not being able to access the healthcare they need? This is an act of pure hate. So, this is the main difference between the two parties. So yes, both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are corrupted by big money. That is true. But when it comes to issues of marginalized people, issues like this, the Democratic Party is much better. So if there was a Democrat in the White House right now, this would not be happening. Now, I'm not advocating for voting for any shitty Democrat, but what I am saying is that understand that there is a difference between these two parties. And that's why people like me, people that are progressive, are trying to take over the Democratic Party, because that is a party that is actually salvageable. There are aspects of that party that do still work. So when it comes to issues like this, the Democratic Party is good on this. Now, the trying to comprehend and understand why this is happening has been hard for me because I can understand greed. I can understand wanting to change laws so that you can make more money and, benefit yourself in some way. What I don't understand is something like this. Something that is just pure hatred. Now, before I get to more on that, here's what the existing rule did. Under the existing rule, health insurers cannot place arbitrary limits or restrictions on health services that help a person transition from one gender to another. These services may include counseling, psychotherapy, hormone therapy, and a variety of surgical treatments. All right, so this was a rule that allowed trans people to live a healthy and happy life. Now, if you're against this, why? Think about it. How does this affect you? If you're not trans, how does this affect you? Now, even if you don't understand why somebody would be born a female and want to be male or other way around, if you don't get that, it doesn't matter. Lots of people don't want kids. A lot of people don't understand wanting to have kids. Does that mean that they should all now turn around and push to remove healthcare protections against people that want kids? No. Everybody has their own version of happiness. So some people want kids. Good. Let them have kids and be happy. Some people are born trans. They feel like they are born in the wrong body. Let them get the healthcare they want so that they can then go and live a happy life. A happy trans person is much better than an angry person. So I don't understand why anybody would be against this. If you're a Trump supporter, is this what you voted for? You voted for Trump to remove healthcare protections from people? Now look, I'm not blaming the voters. You were all swindled into voting for him. But if you're still supporting him, why? How does a move like this benefit you? So this is the kind of thing where I just don't get. I think people should be allowed to live a healthy, happy life however they want, as long as they aren't hurting anybody else. This rule isn't hurting anybody else. So to remove it is simply nothing but hatred. Hey, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button below and consider throwing me a few bucks on Patreon at patreon.com/therationalnational or therationalnational.com/join.